Silent invaders, microplastics in our children's world, tiny, invisible, and everywhere. Microplastics slip into the most ordinary parts of a child's life: snacks, toys, even the air they breathe. You can't see them, but they're there, quietly building up over time. Scientists warn that repeated exposure may affect growth, hormones, and long-term health. Understanding how these particles infiltrate daily life is the first step in protecting the next generation. So, what exactly are microplastics? Imagine taking a plastic water bottle and breaking it down into pieces so small they are invisible to the naked eye. These are microplastics, tiny fragments, fibers, and beads less than 5 millimeters in size. They originate from the breakdown of larger plastic items, like packaging and bottles, or are intentionally manufactured as microbeads in products like cosmetics and industrial abrasives. Because of their minuscule size, they have become an inescapable part of our environment, contaminating our oceans, soil, and even the air we breathe. They are silent and pervasive, a modern pollutant that has seeped into every corner of the planet, posing a hidden but significant threat. These particles are not just inert dust. They are a complex mixture of polymers and chemical additives that can act like tiny sponges, soaking up other harmful pollutants from the environment, making them even more hazardous when they enter a living organism. For children, the sources of this exposure are alarmingly common, woven into the very fabric of their daily routines. The colorful plastic toys they chew on, the synthetic clothes they wear that shed fibers with every wash, and the convenient food packaging that wraps their favorite snacks are all significant contributors. Even household dust, which young children are in constant contact with as they crawl and play on the floor, is often laden with microplastic fibers from carpets, furniture, and textiles. The lunchbox containing their sandwich, the sippy cup they drink from, and the playground equipment they climb on can all release these tiny particles. This constant, low-level exposure from multiple sources creates a cumulative burden that begins in the earliest, most vulnerable stages of life, turning a child's everyday world into an unwitting source of contamination. Children are exposed to these insidious particles through 3 primary pathways: ingestion, inhalation, and skin contact. Ingestion is perhaps the most direct route. Microplastics have been found in bottled water, salt, seafood, and even fruits and vegetables. When children drink from plastic cups or eat foods stored in plastic containers, they can ingest particles that leach from the packaging. Inhalation is another critical pathway, as microplastic fibers and fragments become airborne, suspended in household dust and outdoor air as children breathe. These particles can travel deep into their lungs, a concern given their higher respiratory rates and developing respiratory systems. Finally, while skin contact is considered a less direct route for absorption, frequent handling of plastic toys and textiles can lead to particles being transferred to their hands and then to their mouths. The combination of these pathways means children are experiencing a multifaceted and continuous assault from these microscopic invaders. The potential health impacts of this exposure are a growing concern for scientists and pediatricians. During the critical windows of development in childhood, the body is uniquely vulnerable to environmental toxins. Emerging research suggests that the chemicals found in microplastics such as phthalates, bisphenols like BPA, and flame retardants can act as endocrine disruptors. This means they can interfere with the body's hormonal systems, which are crucial for regulating growth, metabolism, and reproductive development. Studies have pointed to possible links between exposure to these chemicals and developmental delays, behavioral issues, and altered puberty timing. Beyond the chemical threat, the physical presence of the particles themselves may cause inflammation and cellular stress as the body attempts to deal with these foreign materials. The long-term health risks are still being uncovered, but the evidence points toward a silent threat that could have lasting consequences for a child's well-being. One of the most alarming characteristics of microplastics is their environmental persistence. Unlike organic materials, plastics do not biodegrade. They simply break down into smaller and smaller pieces, a process that can take hundreds or even thousands of years. This means that every piece of plastic ever created, unless incinerated, still exists in some form. These tiny particles accumulate relentlessly on our soil, waterways, and oceans, creating a permanent reservoir of pollution for children. This means that the concentration of microplastics in their environment is only set to increase. Over time, the toys they play with today will shed particles that will remain in the ecosystem for generations to come, contributing to a legacy of contamination that will affect not only them but also their own children. This unending cycle of accumulation poses a profound challenge, as we are creating a problem that we currently have no effective way to reverse. Given these realities, taking preventive measures is not just an option, it is a responsibility. Parents and caregivers can take meaningful steps to reduce a child's exposure. This starts with choosing products made from natural materials like wood, glass, and stainless steel instead of plastic, especially for items that come into contact with food and drink. Opting for toys made of natural rubber or organic cotton, and clothing made from natural fibers like wool and linen can also significantly reduce the shedding of synthetic microfibers. Reducing reliance on single-use plastics, such as plastic bags, straws, and disposable cutlery, is another crucial step. At home, regular vacuuming with a HEPA filter can help capture airborne plastic particles from dust. Awareness in schools is equally vital, encouraging policies that phase out plastic lunch trays and promote reusable water bottles. These individual and community actions, when multiplied, can create a powerful shield against this invisible threat. Ultimately, the fight against microplastic pollution requires a broader call for more research and heightened public awareness. While the current body of evidence is alarming, there are still many unanswered questions about the precise long-term health effects of microplastic exposure, especially in children. We urgently need more comprehensive studies to understand the full scope of the risks and to develop effective strategies for mitigation. Public understanding is the engine of change. When parents, educators, and policymakers are informed about the hidden dangers, they're empowered to demand safer products and stronger regulations. Advocacy for corporate responsibility and government oversight is essential to drive systemic change. From redesigning products to be free of harmful plastics to improving waste management systems. Globally, awareness isn't optional, it's essential.